Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Wizard101 video. I finished up the Storm walkthrough. We did a live stream of it. We streamed every single part of it. It took, what was it, like 6 episodes, I think. We streamed like an hour at a time, except for the last episode, which took us 2 hours, over 2 hours. And that was the final battle with Medulla. That one just took a long time because they changed that fight a lot. They made the Medulla fight significantly harder than I was used to and what I remember from the test realm. So they changed that. It took a little bit longer, but we finally were able to get it. People in the chat were really helpful in telling us like how to do it because I had no idea. So we got all that done, and at the end of Empyrea you have the final cutscene, which wasn't in test realm, so I hadn't looked at it before that stream. Basically in this video I want to re-look at it for people that haven't seen it, or I mean, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to see it, this is not the video for you, because I'm going to be watching the cutscene and then talking about it afterwards. So if you don't want to see that, if you don't want spoilers and you want to see it yourself when you get there, then click off the video, because I'm going to be showing it again and also talking about it. So other things to mention before that, since I am level 125, I've got some new gear, I've got some new stats of my Storm Wizard to show you guys, so I will be doing that in a separate video. Before I do that, I also have a pet. So my new pet here is a Storm Gulcher, and I'm not sure about the name yet, so I'll probably change it at some point, maybe in the video where I actually show you guys this and talk about it. But yeah, this is the new pet, critical and damage pet. I'll be doing his own video because I'm excited for it. It's the next upgrade of my critical pet. So here we go. This is the final cutscene for Empyrea Part 1. You can rewatch it by going over to this crystal. So I'll be quiet for the whole time and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Hello? What's happening to me? Where am I?
You are home, my child.
Mom? Is that you? Am I... me?
You're more you than you've ever been, my love. Your old life is over. Now it is time for you to realize your destiny.
Cool?
I refuse to let this feud between Spider and me wreak pain and misery upon the Spiral any longer. This ends now.
Yes! Now we're cooking with fire, Mama. I'm sick and tired of seeing good people being hurt by Spider and his shadow brats.
Agreed. Spider and his wicked progeny must be eradicated.
Oh, well, don't you think that's kind of harsh? I mean, isn't Spider, like, integral to the Spiral's existence or something?
He's essential. The Spiral cannot exist without Spider's darkness and chaos. This unfortunate truth is why the Spiral can never know peace. But you need no longer concern yourself with such things, my darling. Soon there will just be you and I. The days of the Spiral are over.
But...
You don't belong here.
And there you have it. That's the final cutscene. That's what we get. There's also a lot of other dialogue in the infirmary. Let's head over there if we can go back. Hopefully it lets us back in and we can look. But there is another section that opens up in the Arcanum. Yes, I'm grabbing mana. Oh, there's mana over here too. There is another room that opens up in the Arcanum when you get to the last part, and that's where Mallory is. I don't know if Mallory is still there. I think she should be, right? So it's this door. You can't go back in? No! I want to see it again. Okay, well, it's one of those rooms that you can only go into one time, at least for now. Yep, that's it. It definitely was this door right here, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that door. So, guess you can't go back into the infirmary. But basically that's where Mallory is before you see the cutscene, and the Astral Scholar is in there too. A lot of other people, including Baba Yaga. And they talk about how they're going to... I'm going to go back into this room. They talk about how they're going to save Mallory because she has some kind of like illness around her or inside of her or something. And like her other essence is in the astral plane, which is why this guy has a part of it. And they said that our wizard was the only person that could go into there and save her because we're not from the spiral. This was the part that I was like, what? It says, they said, I don't know who said it. I think it was it the astral guy? It was one of the people in there. Said that our wizards are not from the spiral, they're from Earth. Meaning that the world of Earth exists in this game, in this storyline somewhere. And that's where we're originally from. And then what, we're taken from Earth and put into the spiral, and that's how we become wizards. I don't know. So that was a really interesting part at the end of there, and I wasn't expecting that. Our wizards are from Earth, but we then go to the spiral to learn all of this stuff. And then since we're from Earth, we were able to go into the astral plane. We see Grandmother Raven there talking to Mallory, and then at the end of their conversation, Grandmother Raven sees us and is like, "You're not supposed to be here." And then I don't know what happens after that. And that's basically where the storyline ends for part 1. So a lot of people, you know, we're talking about this, that Grandmother Raven seems like she is actually the villain for part 2, which is interesting. And it's something that you kind of could have, you know, you could have come up with this in past worlds, because Grandmother Raven's been kind of like iffy about us. I remember that one time she got mad at us back in Polaris, and maybe it was when we had to revisit Polaris for a different quest. It could have been in Mirage. We had to go back to Polaris, but she got mad at us in like her vision state, her whatever form that was. And I don't know exactly why she was mad or whatever, but I think it was because we were interfering with something and helping Spider. Her mortal enemy is Spider, and there's going to be some kind of clashing between them in part 2. So that's basically where the storyline is heading, and I don't know what side we're going to be on. Are we going to be on Spider's side? Are we going to be on Grandmother Raven's side? Are we just going to be in the middle? Like, Mallory is kind of on Grandmother Raven's side, but then again, she's kind of unsure about it too. In Empyrea, the main thing that Medulla set out to do, and the Bat was trying to stop, was to unchain the Chaos Heart. And Blue and I, in the Life and Death walkthrough, just found out that there are 3 chains to the Chaos Heart. This is why some people think Empyrea could be 3 parts. That would be insane. It could be. I have no idea. It could be 2 parts. It could be 3. And we do know for sure that there's 3 chains, though, to the Chaos Heart. In Empyrea Part 1, we break one of the chains. Well, we don't. Mallory breaks one of the chains under the power and influence of Medulla. So that was the other cutscene that I showed earlier. And one of the chains is broken at this point, since we finished Empyrea Part 1. One of the chains is broken. There's still 2 more. We have no idea where they are, because the map of Empyrea only shows one of them. So that's probably just a small part of Empyrea. There's probably a lot more to it. And Old Cobb is basically wanting to get his Chaos Heart back. If he does, I think basically he takes over the spiral. Grandmother Raven can't do anything to stop him, because she was the one that originally put the Chaos Heart in Empyrea to keep him out, and she also cannot get to it. But Medulla can get to it, and he's like working under some kind of, I don't know why he's really working for her, because the interesting thing with Medulla is that he is from the Arcanum. So I don't know how that really works out. We don't really find out too much about Medulla at the end, just that he's like, we have to, you know, stop him from taking control of Mallory. So that's basically where we stand on the Empyrea Part 1 storyline, like just to quickly go through it from what I remember. But I haven't gotten all the way through with all the dialogue on the Life and Death walkthrough, so there's still a lot of pieces that I need to fill in on the way. But the overarching story is that is where we are going now in the future for Empyrea Part 2. I don't know, is Part 3 likely? The only way I could see Part 3 is if they release Part 2 next year sometime, and then Part 3 at the end of the year. But that seems like a lot. I don't know if KingsIsle would do something like that. Maybe they could just have both the chains in Part 2, or maybe we stop them before they break the chains too. I don't know. It kind of just depends how they want to weave the story, what they want to happen. But it's really interesting to me. I like following the story. That's why I do the Life and Death walkthrough, so we can go through every little step, listen to all the dialogue, get everything, and then kind of, you know, do our theory videos at the end. This is kind of a mini theory. I will do a final thought of Empyrea a little bit later. I'm not sure. We'll probably be able to finish up the Life and Death walkthrough fairly soon, and I will do the final thoughts at that point. I'll talk about Empyrea as a whole for difficulty as well as the storyline. But that walkthrough would be, you know, fairly short because I'm talking about the Road to 125 walkthrough. I keep calling it Life and Death. I mean, it is Life and Death, but also Road to 125. But Empyrea Part 1 is not a long world. It's pretty short. If you were to quest through it and, you know, not listen to dialogue and just go through it quick, you could finish it easily in a few days. So not that long of a world. I mean, it's only half a world, I guess, if they make it 2 parts. So I'll definitely be talking about that. And it's fairly easy. The mobs are easy. There's a few difficult bosses, but they're not too bad. The only difficult thing in Part 1, really, is Medulla. The final fight. They made that fight hard. And I probably should go back and make some kind of like video to help people do it, because we had to finish it. We had to end up putting in all of our hits in our side. And you only hit from your side your treasure cards, and your main was just all shields, blades, stuff like that. Because the confusion that he can use, the new mechanic, is difficult to get around. So maybe I'll do something like that in the future for people that get to that point, because it's kind of difficult. They didn't make it easy. They made it harder than Testrom, which is which is kind of surprising. But that is it for this video, looking at the cutscene and just kind of theorizing about what I think the next part is going to be for this world. So I'm excited. The storyline is really good in Empyrea. That's one thing they did amazing, was the storyline, the dialogue, the characters, and the different animations for that to make the characters feel more alive. I liked it. So that's it. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.